So fun fact, I'm about 6'6" and 3/4. I usually just kind of round up to 6'7", but regardless, I'm taller than most people. So naturally, I was kind of encouraged to participate in sports. And while I'm pretty damn good at sports, if I do say so myself, I was the team captain and bowling MVP of my 8th grade bowling team. So well, I'm pretty familiar when it comes to all things competition and a variety of sports, really, except there's always been one sport that I've just never really been good enough at to play. Ooh, okay, let me guess. Football. Well, actually, I could have been good at football. I just never really wanted to play football. Ooh, okay, you couldn't play tennis? Okay, yeah, sure. I guess I'm not good at tennis either. I wasn't too successful at that. Oh, I got it. Baseball. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm not good at baseball, but like baseball's like one of the most boring sports. Like, why would I ever want to play baseball? Like, why would I do that to myself?
I was just trying to take a guess. Right? You said there was a sport you're gonna play. I was trying to guess. Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
Regardless, no. The sport that I'm talking about is WJF, which is competitive juggling, combat juggling to be exact.
Team passing zone.
The WJF, the World Juggling Friend Group, the World Juggling Fellas. I don't know what the F stands for. We're gonna take a quick second to figure that out. The World Juggling Federation? Isn't a federation like a system of government?
Vegas, Nevada. It's been a week-long event at the 6th Annual World Juggling Federation Convention.
I'm starting to think that in politics, when people say that they're juggling a lot, that this is actually what they mean. And at first glance, you might think that this sport is a little one-dimensional, but boy, you are very wrong. You see, behind me here is the more team-oriented juggling competition. It's kind of like a Fortnite Battle Royale last man standing wins kind of deal. I know a lot of people thought that Fortnite might have peaked, but just wait until they add in the juggling update. But then outside of the team battle royale mode that they also have a one-on-one sumo battle.
Stays in for parallel. Big hat move there. What a play by Joe Shadow.
And all you see, it was this clip right here that really just like solidified the incredibleness that is competitive juggling. Well, this clip here is really what made me question the validity of combat juggling. And so clearly that clip right there makes it very, very difficult to tell whether or not this is real, but it is a part of the Major League Combat. Yes, the Major League Combat. But it's just like so insanely ridiculous, especially hearing the announcers talk about the sport.
There's nothing in the rules that says anything about catching clubs off of bounds. Once it touches the ground, it's dead. You're a zombie.
So once it touches the floor, it's out. You have to go zombie. What the hell is happening? The entirety of these matches, I can't take seriously because of the announcers. Like, just the terminology in this sport is really, I think, what makes it feel so fake. Like, yes, going zombie is insane, but some of the other terminology that they're using doesn't make any sense, like, at all to me. Basically, you have 3 of your like juggling pins or whatever. There always needs to be at least one of the pins in the air at any given point in time. It can't touch the floor, because if it touches the floor, you have to go zombie. Then you're out of play and you just kind of have to like freeze and just stay there. But apparently you can like give your pins that you have in your hand to your teammates, and well, the terminology for that play is
Shower's looking to reactivate some players. Oh, and reactivates 2 at the same time with a double reactivation decapitation.
Yes, the double reactivation decapitation. I don't even understand what the fuck that means. Who got decapitated? Like, what is happening? And I mean, he just like throws both of his juggling pins in, and the guys just juggle with them all. I mean, don't get me wrong, this stuff is pretty impressive. I can't juggle for shit, so like, they got me beat there, but the way that they're kind of gassing up some of this stuff is pretty wild.
After seeing these amazing combatants, it's normal to feel compelled to learn how to juggle.
I mean, like, to be fair, my favorite sport is basketball. You dribble a leather ball and you try and throw it 10 feet up in the air and stop the other team from doing that. When you really break down any sport, every sport is pretty stupid, realistically. However, I really can't wrap my head around what the point of this sport is. Like, okay, the sumo juggling, I kind of understand, right? You're in a tiny circle with another person, try and knock their third pin out of their hand and you win. Like, cool, simple enough, I can understand that concept. Okay, and then like the battle royale one, you think is pretty simple, right? It's the same thing, just now you're in a bigger circle with your team and everyone has to try and keep their 3 pins. But it gets a little bit more complicated because you have teammates and reviving and zombie mode and all that stuff.
Did move his speed, which 2 in 1 club zombies cannot do. But don't worry, Furman's quick to let everyone know, pointing his zombie club and complaining.
So, you know, it's just a little bit more complicated, but the same concept. Except in some of these clips, they're like sprinting from side to side, and I don't understand what's necessarily happening there.
Difficult for Dominic Harant. A strong move up the right side. Harant in trouble.
Thompson's got a free rein down. He's got Yig.
Because when they start doing that, it kind of starts to feel like, I don't know, like football or ultimate frisbee. Like you need to get to the other end zone, but everyone is trying to get to the other side. So I really just don't understand what the point system is there.
Carney will take over as the runner.
Especially because in some of these clips of the full team battle, they clearly don't care to get to the other side. They're just kind of walking around juggling. And then all of a sudden we get the choom, and they just are like sprinting full speed across to the other side of the court. Like, honestly, like I just said, all sports at their core kind of stupid. So really, like, kicking the concept aside of like competitive juggling, really the editing makes this stuff so much funnier than it should. But they're just throwing these pins around and running around with crazy names like Sticky Fingers or whatever.
Oh no, it's not over! Horton goes for a steal, but Sticky Fingers gets there at the same time.
And like they're just randomly throwing their pins and spinning in circles and doing all the most ridiculous random shit that makes zero sense to me. But every time they do something, the camera people like throw that shit in slow motion immediately. The announcer's like, oh my god, did you just see what he did?
Horton just continues to demolish anyone who gets in his way. Backhand home run.
And that's really what makes this so funny to me. The goal or concept is not very easy to like understand or see.
Retaliates by trying to shatter every bone in Joe's arm.
Like, it feels like you kind of have to be an insider when it comes to this stuff. You had to have been there at the hotel the night before and they like gave you like a pamphlet and they're like, all right, read this over so that you understand what's happening when you're watching the event tomorrow. At least with like basketball or golf or volleyball, like you can watch it and pick up on it pretty quickly, like what's happening. The goal of the sport is very, very obvious, but when it comes to this, like I just don't understand what the point of him doing this random 360 was.
Here, can he get to it? 720 there, but oh!
Like, is there also an additional point system for who just does the coolest shit or something? Because it looks to me like he just randomly tried to do some showboaty stuff and just instantly lost the match. But regardless, who am I to judge? I very well may just be jealous because I don't know how to fucking juggle. Whatever it is that you like to do, if you like to competitively juggle or fish or whatever it is, you go for it and just have fun. Maybe don't hit people in the face though with your pin. That one seemed a little personal and a little bit rude to the Federation. Anyways though, hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and by Federation law, you have to make sure you tell your people that you love them. And I'll see you all next week when the Federation starts up its own competitive tree climbing competition where you have to climb a tree and don't get knocked down by the other team. It's going to be pretty deadly, but fun nonetheless.